want to jinx myself. In shock and happy and whatever, and I look like an absolute mess. I haven't done my face or done like anything today. I did go and get a blood test done. Obviously a beta blood test to check my levels. This is a planned pregnancy, so I knew like to test today, if it makes sense. But the funny thing is like today is literally, after I did that, I'm starting to feel like a little bit of the weird feeling in the stomach. Like it's just this feeling in here. And I've had this like niggling, like a tiny bit of a headache, like just in here. And I'm pregnant. So I'm just waiting for the beta results. My mind is like going into overdrive, like what I can't do. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a baby! I'm gonna have a baby! This next 3 months is gonna be super scary. Yeah, I'm gonna get through the next 3 months. So I'm just waiting here for my blood test results. Hey, what's up you guys and girls? Welcome back to my channel. It's Yasmin. If you've been following my social media, you'll know that last week or the week before, actually a week and a half ago, I announced my pregnancy. I'm currently 13 and a half weeks pregnant filming this, but it will be like closer to 14 weeks, maybe 14 weeks by the time I edit it and get it up onto YouTube. So I'm super excited, super thrilled. It is a planned pregnancy and I'm overly delighted and I couldn't be more happier and everything like that. So I have been offline on the YouTube and a lot of my social media. I was actually looking at yesterday on my Instagram page going, wow, like in the first trimester, I was like just posting like older photos and stuff. Honestly, it was really tough for me the first trimester, physically and also mentally. Like I'd suffered a miscarriage in May, and so I was really hyper vigilant throughout the first trimester about, oh, you know, like hoping that it would, you know, all my test results at 12 weeks would be, you know, normal and it would go, you know, continue like a healthy pregnancy and everything would be okay. And then also I had really bad morning sickness, right? Like I can't say that I was one of the like megally bad people like that had to be hospitalized or anything like that. Like that didn't happen to me, although there was 2 instances where I thought, oh, I need to go to hospital, I need some IV fluids, but I didn't get to that. I ended up managing it myself. So what I've done is throughout the whole journey, I've recorded everything like in this app that I have from the very beginning. Because it was a planned pregnancy, like I was super hyper vigilant with any kind of signs and symptoms that were going on in my body that were maybe out of the normal. But then I was kind of like comparing the symptoms that I was having then to the one that I had before in May and things like that. So I'm just going to point out that everyone's body is different. Like everyone's pregnancies are different as well. Like things were happening to me this time, didn't happen to me last time. So don't believe, and there are a whole bunch of fallacies about like symptoms that you have could be one particular gender or another type of gender, because when you speak to other women, some people have like mega sickness with boys and some don't have sickness with girls, like, or they might have 2 girls and then one was really sick and one was not the sick, or like the foods that you crave like resembles a particular gender. Like all of these are just old wives' tales. So if you have different signs and symptoms, like that's completely fine. You might have no signs and symptoms, which is also completely fine. You might not be the same as your friend or another person who's pregnant. That's completely fine. But that's you. That's for you, your body, your baby. This is for me, my body, my baby. Like just deal with it. You know what I mean? Like everyone's different. So this particular video, I actually knew kind of, but I didn't want to get my hopes up as well before I had my positive pregnancy test. So I did my positive pregnancy test at 28 days. My cycle naturally is about 32 days, and I was kind of due for my period then. I tested at 28 days. I did the positive pregnancy test. Like I got a blood test done, and my beta was a good beta for 28 days. Obviously it was low, like it wasn't like super high, of course, because you're just pregnant, right? But then I was doing a beta blood test like every week and seeing the levels are going up, which indicates a viable pregnancy. And that is before you get your dating scan at about 6 weeks or so. You get your dating scan at 6 weeks, and that will, you know, confirm that there's a fetal heartbeat in there. So anyway, this particular video is about my symptoms and things that happen in my body, and just made me think like I kind of know I'm pregnant. So in that weeks of like 3 to 4, so after implantation, before my missed period. So I actually did the blood test, sorry, the pregnancy test both at home and the blood test the day of my period. So it was before my missed period, right? If you have a missed period, that's the first indicative sign. And even if you have like light spotting or your period is kind of different, if you think you're pregnant or you might be pregnant, just go and do a test, right? Just go do a test, because these might not happen to you, right? And also unplanned pregnancies are a little bit different, because I guess you just kind of wait until you miss period and you don't really know. But when they're planned, it's kind of like you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting for like until your period comes and you want to like, you know if you're pregnant or not. So anyway, starting off at week number 4, which is 28 days. So actually week 3, I recorded all of these information before I knew I was pregnant, because these were things that were happening to me between weeks 3 and 4. Okay, so 28 days was the day my period was due and the day I first got tested and my first beta. Ecstatic and happy. I had a really strong gut feeling on day 26, so 2 days earlier, that I was pregnant, and here is why. These are kind of like out of order as well in days post ovulation as well. 19 days post ovulation, no sign, but I was having an off day. I was like super anxious. And that was just because of like the miscarriage that I'd had in May as well. Like I was just crying relentlessly. I had a huge migraine and was vomiting. This might not just be a sign and symptom. It's just like I had a huge migraine and whatever. At that time, at 19 days post ovulation, I didn't think I was going to have a positive pregnancy test, but here I am. 20 to 23 days post ovulation, cramping on one side of my uterus at a time. Sometimes it was really sharp and would travel to my vagina. Usually when I was sitting down and then standing, I remember that like I was sitting down and then I'll get up, it was like this sharp shooting pain, usually on the left side, and it was sharp and it wasn't like a dull pain. It was like, yeah. So 20 days post ovulation, I had a dream. This dream, I remember I was like in hospital, full term, big, in like, I won't tell you what I'm wearing because I feel like now it's my thing that my outfit that I need to wear when I'm in hospital. I'm about to give birth. Okay, so anyway, that outfit, I was dead and I was like just taking videos and stuff and I was like full term pregnant. Anyway, I'll never forget that dream because I felt like maybe this one is actually taking now. 24 to 27 days post ovulation, lower back ache. I didn't actually get lower back aches when my period was due. It came and then went. Yeah, because I never get lower back aches when I'm premenstrual or on my period. It's always uterine. 22 to 28 days post ovulation, I had a really stuffy nose. But mind you, I do get stuffy nose kind of sometimes too. Just say that you do get quite congested when you're pregnant. 22 to 28 days, but despite my stuffy nose in this one, I could smell everything. So one particular day, I cooked eggs. And no word of a lie, you guys, I thought I had a big gas leak in my apartment. I was like, there's a gas leak. I opened up everything. I was standing like on the balcony going, oh my gosh, I breathed in gas and rah, rah. Anyway, it turns out I didn't have a gas leak. I could just smell everything. I could smell the dishwashing liquid like from a mile away. I could smell like if I opened up a cupboard and it had coffee beans in it, I could just smell like overwhelming coffee beans and everything. Like everything was smelling. But that was at 25 days post ovulation that I had that thing about the gas. I thought was like convinced that I had a gas leak, but I didn't. It was just the eggs and I was just like, oh. Anyway, 23 to 26 days post ovulation, I was having dizzy spells, lightheaded and faint. 19 to 28 days post ovulation, slight sensitive nipples. But I also get that when my period was due, so I couldn't really take that as a thing alone. 24 to 27, really sharp, painful stabbing pains in my left breast. So this I don't get before a period anyway, but in my left side, it was like intermittent. It would happen occasionally, but just a sharp shooting stabbing pain in my left. This was happening then around days 24 to 27, and then I haven't had that again since. Days 26 to 28, mild headache in my forehead. See, I usually get migraines or headaches in general, but they are never forehead headaches. And this wasn't a migraine, it was just a dull kind of, it was there. I didn't need to apply any heat or ice or take any paracetamol or Tylenol, you call it in America. It was just there. 8 days post ovulation, I had my positive home pregnancy test and first beta. 27 days post ovulation, my nipples were itchy, which is weird and never happens to me usually. that has also not happened throughout the rest of the pregnancy as well. 25 to 28, my resting, okay, so this was a surefire sign, and this happened to me as well when I was pregnant in May, is I have a fitness watch. This is a Garmin fitness watch, and it records your resting heart. I don't know how accurate it is, like it goes on throughout the day and stuff. So throughout the pregnancy, I have had rises and dips and rises and dips. But around the implantation time, and I'm going to put a photo in, it was a consistent rise in the heart rate. And there were points where I would just get up and eat, and my heart rate of just getting up and eating was like 132 beats per minute. And I'm athletic, I'm very fit. A heart rate of 132 beats per minute is usually, for me, if I've had a lot of caffeine and I'm doing a really high intensity workout, like not just getting up and walking to my house and eating and going back and lying down. No, this was like super fast for me, that I just kind of like, this happened to me last time as well. So I thought, maybe I'm pregnant. Maybe I'm pregnant this time. Anyway, I was, but I wasn't quite sure then, but I kind of had a feeling. Anyway, it surged. It surged. Days 26 to 28, days post ovulation, super hungry. Days 19 to 24, really tired and needing naps, and I've still needed my naps, you guys. So I've had insomnia on and off. Some nights I'll get it, some nights I won't, like all hours of the morning. But regardless of if I do get insomnia or not, I always need an afternoon nap, like around 1:30 p.m. for about an hour, hour and a half, like every single day. But I remember then I had like, that was days 19 to 24, and then days 21 to 24, I also had massive brain fog. Like I was doing uni and I was just brain fogged and I couldn't concentrate. Everything was just like, what is going on? Like, whoa. And this is like all because of the surge of the HCG hormone, which is a new hormone to the body, and your body's like, whoa, what's going on? It's new, and this is a hormone that causes morning sickness and nausea and everything. And come to the second trimester, the body stabilizes out usually. And some people get the morning sickness and everything, like kind of it subsides, and then, or some people it continues. But usually by around the second trimester, a lot of women find that your body's used to the HCG now, and it kind of like levels everything out. But in these early days, like for me, I was kind of like, whoa, and I couldn't focus on uni. I couldn't do anything. Yeah, but I had to have naps. So that was that. And then obviously like at day 28, I got the positive pregnancy test. So I'm going to be doing further videos out. I'm going to be doing next one will be everything that happened to me within the first trimester. So my food cravings, my food aversions, how I was feeling, I was thinking, things were happening in my body. And then because I would have caught up, because obviously in the first trimester, I was just so like dealing with a lot of emotions and whatever and excitement, but still worried at the same time, worrying about these, you know, the tests that have to come at, you know, 11, 12 weeks and stuff and everything. So I've got a little bit of catching up to do. So the video after this is obviously first trimester stuff, which is going to have a lot of information like packed into one about everything that happened to me in the first trimester. And then I'll kind of like be more on time about kind of things that are going on. I have some other things happening as well. Like I am a high risk pregnancy and I've had some complications already happen, and I hope this is the last because I'm super excited and I want to enjoy my pregnancy, which I am. And then obviously when you get a scare happen, you're kind of like, oh my gosh. So if you like this video and you'd like to know more, please remember to give me the subscribe to my channel below, as well as a thumbs up and the bell notification to get notification of all my future videos. And we'll see you next time.